Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Average Joe Dividends YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to do another buy video. I do 2 buy videos per week, one on Monday and one on Thursday. And on the Monday video, I deposit $100 and then I use auto invest within M1 Finance. And what that does is it's going to look for the underweighted portion of the portfolio and it's going to put the money there. So we can take a look at the 3 different slices that I have and currently what's underweight here. And this is after the market has taken effect. So the next dollars that go in will likely go into the ETFs portion. And so we can see this has really dropped the most from today. And this dividend portfolio side, this has gone up, but we'll just take a look at the performance of this portfolio. This is my Average Joe Dividends portfolio. This is a taxable brokerage account. It currently has 52 positions in it. The top 2 positions are an ETF and a closed-end fund with SCHD and BST. That comprises most of this portfolio, and this portfolio is about 15% of my current net worth. There are 50 individual positions in here that are dividend stock payers. But we'll just take a look at the performance of the last day. We'll zoom out and we can see we're down a little bit today and the market is currently open, so this could go up or down and change rapidly throughout the day. But right now we're down 0.19%. We'll look at the last week. We're down 0.22%. But over the last month, pretty flat, down 0.06%. And same with over the last 3 months. And we'll look at just the last year, though. We're up 14.71%. So you can see we've been pretty much up and to the right with some peaks and valleys here and there. So let's go ahead and we'll go to the activity log. We'll see that where that $100 went to. And there's a dividend that came in over the weekend from Costco. So most of the dividends I received, they get dripped right back into the company that paid them. I have a few exceptions though, and that is with BST, SCHD. I'm going to let that just drop into the portfolio into the underweighted portions because those really are heavy hitters. BST pays over $500, and then depending on what the dividend is for SCHD, it's between $700 and $900, depending on what that dividend is for that quarter. We can see here there are 2 buys, so it looks like the $100 went to one position, and we'll see what that is. And it went to KKR and Company Incorporated. And this one's been a good growth stock for me. It does not pay a very large dividend. It pays about like a 0.5% dividend currently, but my yield on cost is higher since my initial investments with KKR have more than doubled. We'll get into that in a little bit. And the second buy was Costco with that dividend drip. So I'm going to click on each of these and we'll see what the fractional shares are as a result of the $100 deposit and the dividend drip with Costco. So for KKR, that bought 0.74794 of a share of KKR. We're going to see what the next dividend is going to be for KKR. Again, it's not going to be a very large difference because of KKR's low dividend percentage. And I like to have a good mix of high dividend payers now, like say a Verizon or a BST, but I also have positions that grow their dividend over time, like a Costco is a prime example with double digits increases, as well as a special dividend that Costco has every 2 to 3 years. So we'll click on Costco and we can see it bought a tiny fraction of a share here. So it was like 3,000th of a share of Costco, and that's because look at that giant share price from Costco at $1,034.27. So Costco has been a good grower for me. We'll go into that in just a moment. We'll click done here. So let's jump over to my Google Docs spreadsheet. This is where I track all the holdings that are in the portfolio, and we'll go over this in just a second. But over here, with this has all the positions that are in the portfolio. Everything right now is arranged by the pay dates, and you can see here's Microsoft here, and I also have it color coded, and we are in the month of February, and we can see the medium greens are February here, and everything again is arranged by the pay dates. And I have the color key for this sheet, and I'll leave a link below to it. You're welcome to look at it or even use it for your own dividend stocks to track it. So you don't have to use a service or anything like that. Just use the sheet and it'll show you your future dividends. It's pretty slick. I've been developing it for several years now. And here's the color key like I had mentioned. February, we're in the medium green, so we're in the second month of the quarter of Q1. And so we'll just go over the columns here: the company, ticker symbol, the cost basis, my gain or loss for each position. Here's the gain or loss in a percentage. Anything above 25% will be in green. Here's the current dividend per share, and most of these are quarterly pairs, except for the two in blue. These are my monthly pairs with Realty Income and BST. You can see those there. Here is the current yield, and we can see there's KKR here on line 30, paying a 0.54% dividend yield. But look at my yield on cost. My yield on cost is higher because I have paid a lower cost on average than the current share price. My average share price I bought KKR is at 57.52. This is going to go up though, since I just bought $100 worth of KKR approximately at this new rate of 128.87. So this is going to go up. And we're going to see, of course, the shares go up as well. We're going to go over 16. And we can see, the gain or loss here. Here's the gain or loss percentage. And anything above 25%, of course, is green, like I said. And we can see the KKR have more than doubled my money. Here's the current the quarterly dividend for KKR. And we can see the pay dates. And here, I'm not going to get the higher dividend here because we're past the X dividend date for KKR. We're well past it, but that's okay. So in approximately May, at the end of May, for KKR, I'll be getting a new dividend. What I've done is I've hard-coded the current dividend at $2.79. We're going to see the new dividend go up for that. So that's what's going to happen there. But Costco, I'm predicting with that 3,000th of a share of Costco, I don't think this is going to go up to 311. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's probably going to be at 310. It's likely to stay there. This is not going to, the number of shares is not going to jump up very high. But Costco, it doesn't pay a huge dividend, but look at where I've bought it at, though. It's just been going up like crazy. I've more than doubled my money. So Costco and KKR, these are more of an appreciation, stock, appreciation. Not so much right now in the dividends, but I think over time, though, with these dividend increases that KKR and Costco do, I'm going to have a much higher yield on cost. You can see Costco almost a 1% there yield on cost, so getting higher there for those. And you can see here's where I accumulate the total dividends for each position. And Costco would be a lot lower if it were not for the special dividend in here. You can see the last dividend was $3.10, and then you can see $2.89 counting backwards. And then here is that special dividend about a year ago, $35.69. So you can see how Costco can pay with their special dividend a much more meaningful dividend there. And then KKR, you can see in Costco their last dividend increases. So in April, hopefully Costco can do another 13% dividend increase, or a double-digit one there. And then in May, hopefully KKR can do 6%. Let's see if they can beat that for their dividend increase. So on this sheet, it also shows the current value of the portfolio, my cost basis, my gain or loss here, and I'm going to copy these over here. I forgot to do that. And we're going to see the monthly and quarterly and annual cash flow average change very slightly. And what I do here, I got to do a pay special values. Instead of just pasting that, we'll try that. There we go. So we're going to see this go up very modestly. It's going to be maybe a nickel, if that, because we had a dividend drip on Costco, and then KKR pays a very small dividend. It's 0.5%, so it's not going to move the needle much. This is more of a growth play uh, down the road for KKR. So, but this was again based upon the allocations I have in my portfolio. But let's take a look at KKR though, as far as its growth, and it's a lesser known stock, and it has a lot of different companies within their portfolio. What KKR does essentially, their strategy is they buy up other companies, and then they try to kind of they'll reinvest back into them and grow them, and then resell them on a 3 to 5 year kind of timeline is what they kind of do. That's their strategy, how they make money. But let's just take a look at over the past 5 years. We can see the appreciation of the stock has been 351%, and we'll compare that to, let's compare that to like the S&P 500, like Vanguard's VU. We'll take a look at how that's been over the last 5 years. You can see that KKR has trounced the S&P 500 as far as growth, but we've seen a little bit of a correction with KKR here, how it's kind of dipped a little bit, and that's okay though, because look at these gains that we've seen, especially since October of 2023. It's just gone up like a rocket ship. So I just want to kind of illustrate that, how KKR is more of a growth play. And when you see all the positions within my portfolio, the 52, I've got a good mix of things that pay a really high dividend yield now, and then things that are more growers, like an Oracle that pays a lower dividend, but they like to increase their dividend over time more aggressively. Say like a Verizon. Verizon has been really good for like a 2% dividend increase. So what we need to do next is we need to update this sheet with the new fractional shares of Costco and KKR, and we'll see a change definitely with KKR. Its next dividend is going to be above 279, and again I predict Costco is not going to go anywhere. So we're going to go to the holdings tab, which we're here. We're going to grab some data from the holdings tab, and if you're curious to see what's in my portfolio here, I'll leave a link below to it. We can scroll through though and just take a look at the top two holdings. SCHD and BST are by far the largest holdings, with Nvidia and AbbVie up there as the top two, as the individual holdings. Prudential is the top three. So I'll just kind of scroll down. You can kind of see what's in this portfolio. It's a good mix of, it's kind of like my own index, pretty much like a dividend index. It's almost like my own SCHD. And the reason why I don't go solely with SCHD is it's missing some companies that have better growth within it. And you'll see some of those in here. And you can see these are pretty much household names in here as well. So a good mixture of growth as well as current dividend paying companies right now. So I'm going to grab everything from the name column, scroll down, and this is going to grab the data of the new shares. My average share price that I've bought into is pretty much, the number of shares, average share price, and my cost basis. That's the three data points it's going to pull, and it's going to change it only for Costco and for KKR. So I'll go back to my Google Docs spreadsheet, M1 tab, pay special, values only, and it's going to automatically update those three values over here for all the positions. And like I predicted, Costco, that 3/1000th of a share with that dividend reinvestment, it did not move the needle enough to be a full cent, so it's still at 310. But we can see that KKR, the next dividend is going to be $2.92. So it did move up a little bit, but you can see it's going to move the needle just a tiny bit. Again, with that, the entire $100 going to KKR with that tiny yield. So here we can see the monthly cash flow average and quarterly annual is going to change. So we're moving from 1,043.26 to 1,043.31. And then quarterly from 3129.79 to 3129.92. And then the annual paycheck from this portfolio is moving from 12/5/1917 to 12/5/1969. So we're going to take that 1,043.31 and we're going to put that on the monthly average dividend tracking tab. Scroll all the way to the bottom. We'll put in 1,043.31. So it added in a whole 5 cents of monthly income. And the event was Costco dividend drip and the $100 deposit. And of course, I could have put the $100 into Verizon. It would have moved the needle a lot more as far as my monthly income. But again, I want to invest in both growth and the dividends that are paying now. And my strategy is for the $100 deposit again on Mondays is to drip it into the portfolio based upon what is underweighted. And that's where the money went to. But on the Thursday video, I will actually pick 5 different stocks and we will see, average Joe's picks for that. And I spread it around to the 5 companies, $20 a piece. And but I like to buy things like KKR or Costco, more of that, and seeing that growth. So we can see that right there. But there's a lot of other events that happen besides my deposits. We can see Caterpillar added a penny on the 21st, and then on the 20th we had O Realty 1.5% dividend raise added 20 cents, and the last $100 deposit was 20 cents. And then things like dividend drips, those are events that will raise my monthly income. You can see it just keeps going up and up and up. And I've been tracking this since 2022. Let's see what that was, December 7th. And we started at 766.64. So you can see how that's just been climbing up and up and up. So that's like my monthly paycheck. And I track this to show the progress, to show you guys that every little drip, every little deposit, every little dividend increase makes a difference. So let's go on over to, actually, before we go there, we'll go to the dividend tracker tab. I've been doing these videos since January 2021. Here's the portfolio value back then. Here are the dividends paid to me in January 2021. And we're going to go to present day. We'll go to February 2025, and the dividends are still rolling in. But here are the dividends so far, 168.65 we received. And then again, here's the average monthly dividend, the 1,043.31. And I've increased my monthly dividend income by $6.33 in the month of February alone for a month-over-month gain of 0.61%. And then here's the annual dividends at $12,519.69. And then here is the annual increase just in the month of February alone, $75.93. We add $100 to deposit. So far in February, I've deposited $700. You can see I'm doing $200 every week, and we should close it out with $800 right around there. That's, I think, yeah, it will be $800 even for the deposits for February. So to close out the video, we'll go to the other 85% of my total net worth. And this is on my total net worth statement. And over at Vanguard, I have an IRA, Roth IRA, and taxable brokerage account. And the value of that is at right now 481K that is. And then you can see I'm invested in boring ETFs. So I have a nice, foundation of index funds, and that's why I do some individual stock investing. And over at T Rowe, that's my 401k. This is my employment from April or March 2020 to present, and this is an S&P 500 index fund, and there's a value at 103k. And then over at M1, I also have a IRA, and this is my previous employment from 1996 until 2019, and that is valued at 716k. Here is the taxable brokerage account, the dividend portfolio that we went over. That's 281k. And then here is my 1-year emergency fund sitting over at M1, getting 4% interest. Here's my 6-month emergency fund at Synchrony, getting 4% interest at $30,000 there. And here is my 2 month spending that I keep over at Capital One. I kind of try to keep it at 10,000. Anything over, I will transfer over to Synchrony. And then here is the value of my home. And then here are the liabilities. Here is my current balance on my credit card, my FNBO Evergreen card, and I pay this off in full every month before accruing interest. The other liability is my mortgage that I have at 6.25%. And then so subtracting out my liabilities from all of my assets here, my total net worth is at $1.815 million. And the breakdown is stocks 87%, home equity is 7.4%, and cash of 5.4%. And then broken down by pre-tax and after-tax, you can see it's about 60-40 right now. And then here is how I'm aligned with US and international. Really, the only international that I have is VXUS right there, that ETF over at Vanguard. And so here's the total average monthly dividend when you count in things like IRA, 401k, as well as savings account interest. So if I had access to my IRA and 401k money, then I could just, this would be the dividend or interest off of that. So I could just draw that without selling a single share of my investments, almost $3,500. And by the time I'm able to access that, which is going to be another approximately 8.5 years, this is going to go way up with the more investing that I'm doing, as well as just appreciation in those dividends as well. And we can see just how my net worth has gone up for November 2022. And that's just really sticking to what I've been doing in these videos. And that is investing the gap that I have, as well as, contributing to my 401k over here. I don't even max it out. I'm contributing up to my employer match right now. That's my strategy. And, and while accumulating more and more cash as well, I'm planning on early retirement, probably pulling the plug hopefully by the time I'm 53, get out of the corporate world, and we'll see how that goes. But you can see just how the net worth has really skyrocketed just with the current assets that I've had, and just the stock market doing what it's doing. You can see the 1.284 and just going up and up and up, and that's not having a very large gap either. You can see I've had some larger gaps with a bonus from work, and there's some where I've just had just a little bit of a gap between my income and expenses, or W2 income. So you can see just how I've been tracking that as well. So we'll go back to where the buy was again, and it went all into KKR. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, what you think of this buy. And also let me know in the comments below what you are buying this week. If you got value from the video, please click the like button, and also subscribe so you do not miss future videos. I'm going to have some more videos coming up, of course, my Thursday buy video, as well as recapping all the dividends that I received for the month of February. I will not only show you the proof, I'll show you, everything I've received here. And a lot of people just like to show you a spreadsheet of like, here's my dividends of what I've received. But I'm going to show you the actual proof in M1. We'll go into those and read them off one by one. But here are the dividends that are still slated to come up with KKR, Starbucks, and look at that big one from BST. Cannot wait to receive that one at the end of the month at $505.97. So BST has been, when that one hits, it's a bomb. You can see just the total dividends I received so far with that investment, over $10,000, and growing. We're going to go over $11,000 at the end of February. So thanks again, everyone, for sticking to the end of this video. I hope everyone has a great week.